Hey there, it's Dee, and I figured I'd just bring you to another home. So we're out in the field today. Thought I'd bring you on one of my walkthroughs. Is this a deal or no deal? Can you see all the sags? All this discoloration and sagging. They tried to help with that. Patch over there. See all the sagging? Whoop, 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 whoop. Right? So we're looking at roofs. We're checking corners. Yeah, I've got my work boots on today. It's a good thing. Oh, we got a soft spot there. Right in front of windows. Yep, there's some soft spots. You always want to check marriage lines. This is a marriage line. It's kind of a weird marriage line. But you see that? That's the marriage line. And then that's the marriage line. You can actually see there's a separation between the two. So one goes up from the other, and it could be the flooring type too, because this is tile with a board, backer board underneath it. This is probably just regular brush board. So it doesn't necessarily mean that there's an issue, but there could be, right? So interesting use of caulk. Tons of highs and lows. You really do not want to put tile in a manufactured home for that reason. You can see the bow. You see that? Go from there to there. I felt a low spot, definitely a low spot over here. So there's probably drainage coming in on the corner here, or it's a connection point on the outside of the home that's bringing in water. Could be one of two things. Could also be settling right in that corner. There's a lot of water going down that area, especially if it's a gutter. Go through and we always check electrical and things like that. So they didn't bank on having to take out the dishwasher before, and so they had to do that. You can see that there is tons of ceiling issues. The washer or dryer is very well leveled right there. Interesting cutoff of cabinetry there to put the vent up. And obviously behind the fridge. So there's some redoing in the kitchen. This home has been vacant for a very long time, so the water isn't on. So unfortunately, I can't check that. I'd be checking to see hot water. See what's coming out. This has had water damage. Those pipes. Check out those shutoff valves, guys. Look at the pipes. Not fabulous. See all the water damage back there? It's been leaking. So that's probably the reason why they had the water shut off. And then you have rags all over the place, right? So definitely some leaking pipes. The floor, the reason why you've got issues there is because the floor is bowed. And then it dips down here. The ceiling, if you look down, it slopes. We have leaking on the side here, right? Check that out. It's been pretty good. Leaking all down the wall. You can tell it's been leaking for a long time. This is way water wicked. Doesn't start getting solid to out here. Here it's free moving. Like that's almost hollow behind there. And you have electrical right there. Not good, right? I'm surprised the subfloor isn't having issues yet, but there's leaking there too. So what are we seeing so far? Definitely a roof issue, pretty major. Can those things be resolved? Yes, for the right price. Right? Frame's done weird. Right? It's just not good craftsmanship in the home. We have a high spot here and then it slopes down. So that's something to note. I just dropped down in order to come into the bathroom area here. I did put tile in here, but it's old school, right? This might look nice, but did they do it right? We don't know because we don't have water on. What I'm feeling for is to see if there's been water leaking that's come out. Kind of an interesting placement, right? That's not a true shower setup. That's a makeshift shower setup, right? Used to be a tub there. Let's see. Well, we have a pan under there, and then that's been wet. So, pretty good indicator that we've had some leaks at some point in time. Interesting that the return is sitting right there. So, does that mean that the furnace is under the home? We'll have to take a look. That's not normal. Normally it's inside the home. What can you spot wrong in this home, in this room? Do you spot that? Can you see it? Yep, water. So all these windows that were installed, that were brand new windows, were not installed correctly. And that's another thing. They can be brand new windows and look fabulous until they start leaking. And so outlet's been affected, subfloor's been affected. Yeah, there's just a few things. Outlet issue there. Always look in the closets because that's where people hide stuff. So something's been going on up there. There was a fix done, not done well. Always look in closets. Up at the ceilings, feel on the floors because they assume you're not going to go in there and look. That's where you're going to find the issues, because if it's on the back side of a bathroom, or it's where the water heater is, or the side where the gutter is, you're going to possibly have issues. So you need to check those areas, move things out of the way. So there's been water. You can see the discoloration. There's been water coming in there. This window not as bad. The ceiling is bad there. Look at that, right? Ceiling is bad there as well. They probably encased this, just try to fix it. Not necessarily well. It's a little more sturdy than the other, and that is drywall, whereas the rest of it's paneling. So that was fixed. So those are things to look for. Somebody's reconfigured this home to match their needs. May not be desirable for everybody's. We've got leaking over there, leaking over there, leaking over there. And it hasn't been wet recently, but somebody tried to hide all that. Let's see. We've got damage in there, right? Yep, and it is soft, soft, soft right there. You hear the flooring pop up? So, some other things, let's see, other things, you can see the shower, back of the shower has been, either somebody doesn't know how to take a shower or that's been leaking. Probably the pan's been leaking, or the valve. There's probably, well, it's the back side of the shower. So, that's interesting. More leaks under here. You've got plumbing issues there. More ceiling issues, leaks. Very inconsistent with the ceiling. Somebody has a huge, oh, and this right here, thankfully, it has a main. If it didn't have a main, this would not be up to code. But the thing is, this is so small that if you try to add other things on, you're not going to be able to. You're going to have to upgrade the box and then do rewiring. So definitely some things to look at. Patches that have happened all throughout the home. Door separation. Somebody reskinned it and did a bad job. You can see that. Look what they originally were asking. It's now down to $38,000. This home has been sitting here, and I've been watching it for, I think, 700 and some odd days. You can get a look at the outside. This awning is horrid, and it's not up to park standard, so that's going to have to be redone. There's no railings on that. As long as it's high as 3, you have to put railings on it. In the front, it looks nice. But when you get up close, not so much. Big, huge front porch. Got a big old swamp cooler. If you're not from southeastern states or warm states where there's no humidity, you don't know what that is. I didn't either. But there's water coming in there on from the awning. And that's the other thing too, is if awnings are not attached correctly, they can cause issues. Continue. They put gutters on it because it probably had water that kept on going into those windows. They are new windows. They're just not installed correctly. And you can see that they have had issues with the edge on the roof. Skirting for this park will need to be redone. Our sheds have to be maintained well, so that's a bad thing as well. Hey, it still has tail lights on it. So guess what era? 60s, folks. So, or early 70s, early 70s. For that reason, I might be out on this one. They didn't disclose the age. Occasionally, you will find furnaces on the outside of homes. That doesn't look like a fire waiting to happen, does it? But pretty aggressive system. There's been leaking that's taken place, so that means that the venting where this goes up through has not been adequately sealed, at least at one point in time, and there's water coming down. So that's another thing to be aware of. So let's look at the roof. It is a metal roof that's been coated. Look how minor the pitch is. It's very, very small. Based off of the way this was built, a roof over is not going to be appropriate with traditional means. There are various different systems that end up not adding a whole bunch of weight to the home because the walls just are not built to that standard. So the system to put on this would be a TPO. It's a membrane that goes across the top of this, and as long as it is installed correctly and attached and seamed correctly, it'll last a long time. So this is Dee just giving you a detailed analysis of an home that needs a lot of work. Deal or no deal? You tell us. Make it a great day.